Her journey began before she understood the meaning of hardship. Amara was born into a home where love disappeared the same year her mother died. She was barely 6 when her father remarried a woman named Lydia, a woman whose smile ended at the gate and whose cruelty lived indoors. At first, the insults came quietly. Then hunger followed, then blows that left no marks anyone cared to ask about. Every morning before sunrise, Amara carried a tray filled with detergent sachets and small tins of Milo. Her bare feet learned the heat of the road early. By noon, the sun burned her skin until sweat mixed with dust and stung her eyes. When she returned home without selling enough, Lydia's anger waited patiently. Food was withheld, words were sharpened. Sometimes hands were raised. No apology ever followed. School was never a priority in that house. Amara attended irregularly, often sent home for unpaid fees. Her uniform was faded, stitched and restitched, her books missing pages. Other children laughed when she walked past with her tray balanced on her head. Some called her hawker girl. Some asked loudly why she still dreamed of school when her life was already written. Amara never answered them. She swallowed every insult and kept walking. Her father, Daniel, watched all of this from a distance. He was not violent, but silence became his greatest sin. Whenever Amara tried to speak, Lydia spoke louder. Whenever Amara cried, Lydia accused her of manipulation. Over time, Daniel chose peace over truth. Amara learned early that being quiet kept her alive. At night, when the house slept, Amara studied. She read borrowed textbooks under dim light. She practiced mathematics on old newspapers. She memorized passages until her head ached. Hunger was constant, but hope refused to die. She promised herself that one day she would leave that house with her head high and never return broken. Lydia noticed her determination and hated it. She tore notebooks. She mocked her accent when she practiced English. She told her repeatedly that education was wasted on girls like her. Each time Amara topped her class, Lydia accused her of cheating. Each time a teacher praised her, Lydia punished her at home. Success became dangerous, but Amara refused to fail. There were days Amara fainted on the roadside while hawking. Women poured water on her face. Men shook their heads and said life was unfair. Children stared. No one knew her name. No one knew her story. She would wake up, gather her tray, and continue. Quitting never crossed her mind. Quitting meant returning home early, and early returns meant punishment. One teacher, Mr. Samuel, noticed her absence and persistence. He paid part of her school fees quietly. He gave her extra books. He told her something she carried for years. Your background is loud, but your future can be louder. Those words became her shield. Years passed. Amara grew taller, thinner, stronger. Hawking paid for pens, notebooks, exam forms. When Lydia discovered she had registered for national exams without permission, the beating was severe, but Amara still sat for the exam. When the results came out, her name was among the best. Lydia tore the paper and called it fake. Amara memorized the grades and moved on. University felt like an impossible dream. Lydia laughed openly when Amara mentioned it. Daniel said nothing. But Mr. Samuel helped her apply for scholarships. Amara hawked harder, waking earlier, sleeping later. She saved every coin. Hunger followed her, but fear of staying behind was stronger. The admission letter came quietly. Amara cried without sound. Lydia read it twice and accused her of lying. When it became clear the offer was real, Lydia refused to help. Daniel looked away again. Amara packed her few clothes and left with nothing but her letter and determination. University life was not easy.
Amara worked menial jobs. She cleaned, she tutored, she ran errands. Some days she survived on water and hope. But in lecture halls she came alive. She asked questions. She read relentlessly. She stayed back when others left. Pain sharpened her focus. She graduated each semester at the top of her class. Lecturers noticed. Opportunities followed. Scholarships replaced hunger. Confidence replaced fear. The hawker girl became the student everyone respected. During holidays, Amara never returned home. She stayed on campus, worked, and healed. She learned that family is not always blood, and silence is not peace. She forgave without forgetting. She focused on the future. Final year came with pressure, projects, deadlines, expectations. Amara pushed harder than ever. She remembered the heat of the road, the weight of the bucket, the sting of hunger. She refused to let those years be wasted. Convocation day arrived bright and loud. The hall was full. Names were called. Applause followed. When the announcer paused, then spoke clearly, "Best graduating student, Amara Daniel," the hall erupted. Amara stood frozen for a moment. Then she walked. Each step carried memories, the hawking, the hunger, the beatings, the silence. She climbed the stage with steady hands and tear-filled eyes. Cameras flashed, cheers filled the air. Her name echoed, strong and undeniable. In the crowd, Lydia sat stiff. She had come out of curiosity, not pride. When she heard the name, the color drained from her face. The girl she mocked, the girl she starved, the girl she tried to bury had risen. Regret hit her hard. Her body gave way under the weight of realization. People rushed to her. Whispers followed. Amara did not look back. She accepted her certificate and bowed slightly. There was no anger on her face, only peace. She had nothing left to prove. Later, when their eyes finally met, Lydia could not speak. Amara nodded once and walked away. Closure did not need conversation. Her story spread. People shared it. Young girls listened. Parents reflected. Some cried, some learned. Amara became proof that destiny cannot be beaten into silence. Pain shaped her, but it did not define her. Betrayal strengthened her, but it did not harden her. Hope carried her when nothing else did. The girl who once sold detergent under the sun now stood in rooms where her voice mattered. Her journey broke hearts and healed them too. And her light, long hidden, finally shone where the whole world could see it.